This time bringing you some highlights from yesterday's Developer Direct from Bethesda, where they showed off the games they have for the upcoming spring season, though just as notable to what they did show is what they did not show. At the same time, however, there's only a couple games of interest to this particular channel in this preview, so we are going to cover those first, and then towards the end I'll talk about everything else that they covered. But first and foremost, Starfield was not in this preview as it is getting its own separate showcase at a later date, where I imagine we'll likely get the release date for that title in addition to further information at the same time, but as of right now, nothing more on that. Furthermore, another no-show was any news on ZeniMax Online Studios' unannounced project. Not that I was really expecting to see it here, but the creators behind Elder Scrolls Online have been working on another game for quite some time now that remains unannounced. From there, let's talk about the one game they showed off that I am actually planning on reviewing, which is Redfall. We got some more extended gameplay of the title, taking us through what some of the characters can do, as well as other gameplay features, such as some of their sort of talent tree, skill tree systems that will allow each character to customize what they can and can't do, on top of the abilities that already make them unique, as Redfall sees us taking on an island full of vampires as one of 4 separate characters with unique playstyles each, in a game that will have both single player and co-op. Now, honestly, I still don't really know what to make of Redfall after this. However, this preview did give me a better idea of what to expect. It's still very much so an Arcane title, as that is the developer, and because of that, it's a big blend of FPS with more traditional RPG elements, and it looks like in this particular case, we're going to be traversing the entire island of Redfall in a more almost open world fashion as we tackle various missions, objectives, that kind of thing. And in some respects, it kind of reminds me of an almost more fantasy-esque version of something like Far Cry, albeit a bit more grounded, I guess, if that makes sense, you know, despite the vampires. But in terms of Redfall and what they had to show, I enjoyed the art direction the most. I enjoy a lot of what they've got going on here artistically, and the initial concept at least seems pretty solid, but I've got to admit nothing about it has really gripped me yet. But admittedly, I'm not big on first-person shooters, so I guess we'll just kind of have to see when this one launches how I feel about it, but it looks like it's shaping up pretty well at any rate. For a final note on Redfall, that is coming to us May 2nd, as they did announce the release date, so we shouldn't have to wait too much longer to get our hands on that one. Now, pretty much everything else they showed off here isn't really my area of expertise or games I am planning on covering, but are nonetheless pretty interesting. They had Minecraft Legends, which is a Minecraft spin-off that's been in development for like 5 years, I believe, and in particular they showed off a bunch of PvP elements where you could engage in almost real-time strategy style battles with teams of people. And while I'm not a big Minecraft person, I know very well that it is an incredibly large community, and while it's not for me, I could definitely see that being a big hit. Then we had news on the next Forza title, which is a racing game. There are a handful of genres I could tell you absolutely nothing about, and that would be racing games. I cover RPGs here, and most of what they went over in the video was talking about the graphical fidelity, things they're doing to make it seem more alive and all the visuals pop, and the game certainly looked good, but truth be told, I couldn't even tell you what makes a good racing game, so hard to give much insight on that one for me. And to be fair, I don't think my regular audience is expecting that from me either. Then we have the Elder Scrolls Online Necrom announcement. Elder Scrolls Online I used to play quite a bit, as before my channel got big I played a lot of MMOs, Elder Scrolls Online being one of them, and I am a big fan of it even if I don't have time for it these days, so I actually do still follow the releases. And much like Starfield, this one also got its own separate show, but they talked about it a little bit in the show here. But mostly they were just announcing their yearly chapter. ESO releases a sort of expansion every year, which is a big new area to explore with a bunch of content and everything. This one's adding a class, as well as a new playable area of Morrowind, I believe, that has something to do with the Daedric Prince Hermaeus Mora. Last but not least, that brings us to Hi-Fi Rush. This is a game they actually sort of shadow dropped right after the show. This game is out now. You can go play it if you want. It is a rhythm action game from Tango Gameworks, and it looks like a lot of fun. That said, rhythm games aren't really for me either, as while I am great at 100%ing and reviewing games, what I don't have is rhythm, which makes rhythm games a bit of a non-starter. That said though, what they had to show here was pretty cool, or at least it looked pretty cool, as you'll be taking on the corporate suits that sort of put you through a failed experiment that caused your character to feel the rhythm of the universe. And you fight against them hack and slash style to, of course, the rhythm of some licensed rock music. and it certainly looks interesting. Again, not really for me, but it certainly looks like a game that could be some fun, especially seeing as you can get all of these on Xbox Game Pass, which includes the just dropped Hi-Fi Rush, so pretty risk-free way to try that one, as is the case of all of these. But that's pretty much all I've got for you, so just a real quick recap. No Starfield, it's getting its own show. Redfall is coming out May 2nd. Minecraft Legends is coming out April 18th. ESO's new chapter will be launching as usual this June. Forza, the new racing game, is out this year but doesn't have a set date yet. And Hi-Fi Rush is out now. So there you guys go. Just a quick look at everything that we saw covered via Bethesda's Developer Direct. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it gave you some new information. But more than anything, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. But thank you.